out there in the electronic ether? This is Reverend Z. And tonight, I'm coming to you from our stand, which part of our ministry is we have a clown troupe. So we take inner city kids, teach them to be clowns, and then take them to hospitals and nursing homes to entertain folks. And I am the chief clown of that because that's one of the things that I've done with my life. But because of that, I have a rather unique perspective on blackface, which is something that has been in the news a great deal over the last, for criminy sake, it seems to keep coming back. I remember when Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg and Ted Danson did a blackface sketch, and then there was all of this other stuff. Now we have the governor of Virginia. Now I understand that while I'm taping this, he has at one point apologized for wearing the blackface, and another time he is now, I believe, saying that was not him, and I guess he's withdrawing his apology because that's not him. Or, well, he says it's not him. Regardless of whether or not it's him, it is an interesting bit of circus history that has become a sore part of American culture. Now, I'm just going to discuss this from the American view because, well, that's what I am. Now, blackface in the United States originated in minstrel shows. Basically what happened is free men and women in the 1800s got together, did these little shows, and they would perform, and they would wear very simple makeup. And to make life easier, if you're a performer, you wear makeup that's close to whatever color you happen to be. And so these folks wore dark makeup because that's what color they happen to be. Well, some enterprising young white folks saw that they were making money at this and said, hey, why don't I steal some of that money? And so they stole their act. And so the roots of blackface are white people trying to steal money from black folks. And that's where, that is the least morally repugnant part of this whole story, just straight out theft. I'm not going to go into the scriptures on theft. We all know very well that thou shalt not steal is one of the 10 commandments, and that you shouldn't be stealing. So we're just going to fast forward a little bit. As this is going on until, especially in the antebellum years after the Civil War and in the late 1800s, the white blackface minstrel shows got more and more racist, and it became a way for white folks that felt that, I guess they felt that black people were getting over on them after they gained their freedom, and obviously they would make them appear stupid, they would make them appear foolish, and there were all kinds of derogatory things about it, and over the years it became a very, very, very unflattering way to represent black folks. And that is basically, it has continued to go downhill ever since then, and after vaudeville was pretty much the last stand of any significant, I suppose the jazz singer is probably the last stand of any legitimate performer wearing blackface. And then after that, there was enough blowback from that people just started. Anyone that had any self-respect would say, hey, this is not something that I should do. Blackface minstrel shows continued into the 20th century. They became a very popular part of Ku Klux Klan rallies. And once you get to the point that the Ku Klux Klan is doing anything, you know you're pretty much on the wrong side of history, on the wrong side of morality, on the wrong side of just about everything that you can be on the wrong side of. Now, in this particular picture, we see this guy or someone dressed in blackface standing next to someone wearing a Ku Klux Klan uniform. Now, it does appear to be a homemade one. It doesn't appear to be a very good one. But still, the clear objective was that this was a racist depiction. You can't do what Ted Danson said when he wore blackface with Whoopi Goldberg and claim that it was a legitimate comedy routine. This was not what was happening here. This was clearly someone doing this for racist intent. And if you watch my video on the kids who were taunting the Native American gentleman, they were wearing blackface at basketball games, and the folks wearing blackface would only hoop and holler and yell and scream when black players from the opposing team were doing things. Hence, it became racist. If you're wearing blackface, you're in a picture with someone in a Ku Klux Klan, it's a racist thing. Which the scriptures do have something to say about racism. John 7:24. Do not judge according to appearance, but judge the righteous judgment. Obviously, we've all heard Dr. King's speech where he talks about hope waiting for a day when we will be judged by the content of our character and not the color of our skin. That was Dr. King wasn't the one that came up with that idea. That was something that was in scripture. So the bottom line is, folks,
that was the opposite of what we were supposed to do, man.
putting aside
I said they were leaving it.
what has become a repugnant history of the tradition of blackface.
Yeah.
Putting aside the fact that blackface on white people was originally an attempt to steal money from black people, it has become a staple of racist activities in the 20th century. And that's the bottom line. There is nothing redeeming about it for an entertainment venue. And frankly, if you are in an organization where that is something that is entertaining, you need to pray about that organization, and you need to pray about your membership in that organization. And the scriptures are pretty clear about it. If you're judging someone by what color they are or what they look like, you're doing it wrong. Well, folks, I thank you for tuning in. I hope the sound worked on this thing. We're trying something new by being out in a public place. And I'd just like to say to you all out there, I hope that you're praying for me. I'm praying for you. Please keep me in your prayers. You all have a good evening. And also, we're starting a new set of clown classes in a new area of the city where we operate. And that's always it's not a bad thing, but it's sort of a nervous, will anyone show up sort of thing. So please keep that in your prayers too. And I thank you for tuning in. Have a good evening.